1935. A man named Smedley Butler, one of the most decorated Marines in American history, does the unthinkable. He turns his back on the military establishment. He didn't just write a book, he confessed to a crime. He called himself a high-class muscle man for big business. He said war isn't about democracy or freedom. It's a business, a racket. Butler warned us nearly a century ago. The many pay the price while the few rake in the profit. Fast forward to 2026. We are in the middle of a massive U.S.-Israeli war against Iran and Lebanon. But while the world watches the explosions, a small group of people are watching their bank accounts. And the names on those accounts? They're living in the White House. Meet Omid Malik. In 2023, he founded 1789 Capital, a fund dedicated to patriotic capitalism. They don't care about climate change or woke corporate values. They care about drones, missiles, and AI. November 2024. Trump wins. Days later, Donald Trump Jr. joins 1789 Capital as a partner. Not a consultant, a partner. Suddenly, the fund's assets explode. It goes from a modest $200 million to a staggering $2 billion. Where's that money going? Straight into the tech of the future war. Drones, rocket fuel, AI-powered weapons. It looks like business as usual until the contracts start rolling in. Once the elder Trump took office, the patriotic investments started paying off. Big time. That's the largest loan in the history of the Office of Strategic Capital. Democratic senators are screaming conflict of interest, but the gears of war are already turning. But how do you ensure these companies keep winning? You change the rules of war. Don Jr. wasn't just investing, he was vetting Pentagon staff. His mission? Move the military away from traditional jets like the F-15 and toward cheap, mass-produced drones. Don Jr. happens to be the third largest shareholder in a company called Unusual Machines. In October 2025, they landed a massive U.S. Army contract for drone motors. At the same time, the administration banned Chinese drones. Competition? Deleted. Profit? Guaranteed. Don't forget the other brother, Eric Trump. February 2026, Eric invests in a $1.5 billion merger involving an Israeli drone company called X-Tend. Their slogan? Low cost per kill. Just 11 days later, the U.S. declares war on Iran. The primary weapon of choice? Attack drones. It gets even darker. On Polymarket, where Don Jr. sits on the board, anonymous accounts bet millions that the U.S. would strike Iran before February 28th. These accounts were funded just days before the missiles flew. In the world of finance, we call that insider trading. In 2026, we call it the new normal. Even the man running the war is getting in on the action. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth's financial advisors were caught trying to dump millions into defense funds just weeks before the invasion. When the person deciding where to drop the bombs is also invested in the company making the bombs, is it even a war anymore? Or is it just an IPO with a body count? Smedley Butler was right. War is a racket. But in 1935, the profiteers at least tried to hide in the shadows. In 2026, they're posting about it on social media. We're no longer seeing a government managing a superpower. We're seeing a family managing an investment portfolio, armed with the most powerful military in human history. Every drone strike in the Middle East is another dollar in the pocket of the patriotic capitalists. So here's the question. Is this the peak of American power, or the moment the empire became a private equity firm? Let me know what you think in the comments.